Bonjour à tout le monde. My name's Maia and today we'll be conjugating the three types of French verbs: ER, IR and RE verbs. Now on the screen around me are examples of these verbs commonly used in French. If you don't know me, I achieved a grade 9 in GCSE French and I'm here to teach you all the skills you need to do exactly the same. Now let's get right into it. It's important to remember that today we're going through regular verbs. So what does that mean? Well, we have regular and irregular verbs. Now, irregular verbs have different endings that we have to memorise because they're unique to each verb. So prendre, which means to take, is irregular and you have to memorise the endings because they're different from regular verbs. Whereas on the left-hand side, we've got the regular ones here, such as chanter, finir, arriver. So depending on the endings, so we've got ER, IR and RE endings. Because they're regular, most ER verbs will be conjugated the same, most IR verbs will be conjugated the same, and most RE verbs will be conjugated the same. Let's have a look at RE verbs. So we've got chanter, which means to sing, chanter. Along the left-hand side, we've got pronouns. So we've got je, which means I. Write this down. We've got tu, which means you, but it's the informal version of you, so it's a familiar version, used with your family and friends. We've got il, elle, on. That means he, she, and we. It's the informal version of we, so use it with people you're familiar with. And we've got nous, which means we, but it's the formal version of we. Vous, which means you, formal version of you. We've got il, elle, which means they. Just a recap of the pronouns. Now, what we're doing is we're taking the root from chanter. So we're getting rid of the ER for now. So no ER for now. The root, which is chant, C-H-A-N-T. And what we do now is we add on the ER endings, which you need to memorise. And these are the same for all regular ER verbs. Regular, not the irregular ones, just the regular ones. So for je, we just add an E. We do chante, plus an E on the end, so je chante. And then for tu, there's an ES, so tu chantes. Il, elle, on, again, we just add an E. And then for nous, we have O and S. So the endings, I've put them all up here so you can see them. And we've got for vous, it's chanter, EZ. For il, elle, ENT. So we just add these endings that I've outlined on the right-hand side. We add them to the root of the verb, which is chant. To get the root of the verb, we just take off the endings. We take off the ER, the IR, or the RE. Then we have the root. So in this case, it's chant, from chanter. And we just add those endings on. So it's E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT. Okay? Those are the endings that we have got. So here's some examples of regular ER verbs. So here we've got nous dansons. That is from the verb danser, danser. So what we've done here is we've gotten rid of the ER, and we've just left with the root danse, and we've added ONS, which is the new ending. Now we've got vous aimez le gâteau. And because there's a consonant on the vous, at the end of the vous, and a vowel at the beginning of aimer, we connect them with a Z sound, so vous aimez, okay? This is from the verb aimer, which means to like or to love, and we've just taken off the ER and we've added the ending EZ instead. Okay? So, number 3, we've got je visite la France, so I visit France. So it's from the verb visiter. Again, seeing a pattern here, we just take off the ER and we add the ending, which is E for the je form, for the I form. Finally, we've got tu joues au football, so you play football. We've just taken the verb jouer, jouer, which means to play, taken off the ER, the root, the ending, sorry, and we've added on ES, and that's the ending for the tu form. So those are ER verbs. Let's move on to the IR verbs. So here we're using finir, which means to finish. So there we're starting with. We've got those same pronouns again. They don't change, the pronouns are always the same. Je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, and il or elle. Now, the endings for IR verbs are slightly different, and these are the same for all regular IR verbs, but not all IR verbs are regular. There are some irregular ones that you'll just have to learn. But for GCSE, you'll get a lot of regular verbs that you need to know how to conjugate. So if you want to say I finish, you add is, so je finis. You finish, for the tu form, again, it's is. And for the il, on, it's it. On finit, elle finit, il finit. Nous finissons. So this is a bit different now, a bit longer. So, nous finissons, we finish. Vous finissez, I-S-S-E-Z. So, nous finissons, vous finissez. And then, il, elle, finissons. It's a bit different endings now. So, the last three, vous, nous, and il, elle, are always a little bit longer for regular IR verbs. So, now we've got conjugation of IR verbs. Let's look at some more examples. So, here we've got je choisis le sujet. So, what we're doing again is we're taking choisir, we're getting rid of the ending, the IR, and we're adding the ending, which is IS. So, if we go back, so here, you see you've got the ending is here. That's the ending we're adding. So what we're doing again is we're finir, taking off the ending, and then we're adding these. We're adding these endings onto finir. So let's say finir plus. We're adding these endings onto the root of finir. So here we've got nous finissons les cours. Les cours is just lessons, a lesson. So, nous finissons. So, again, getting rid of that ending and adding ils. Voilà, comme ça. Comme ça just means like that. Il réussit à l'examen. That means he succeeds at the exam. So, réussir. So this is the verb, réussir. And we're just taking off that IR and we're adding IT. See a pattern here? So finally we've got ils sortent le lundi. We've got sortir, that means they go out on Mondays. So sortir, so we're taking off that end and we're just adding the ENT at the end. Okay? So next up we've got RE verbs. So again we've got these pronouns here. Okay? Same pronouns again. Attendre means to wait. That's an important verb. You'll use it a lot. You wait for the bus. You wait for your family. Attendre. Attendre. Okay? So again, what we've got here is we've taken off the RE, the ending, left with the root of the verb attend. Attend. So we add these endings here. So we've got je, and because there's a vowel at the beginning of attend, what we do is we say J apostrophe attend, and then we add the ending, which is an S. So like that, so we cross that out. So we got j'attends. Okay? D'accord? D'accord means just okay. So and the tu attends, we've got an S for the ending. Il, elle, on attendent. We don't add anything here, so we just leave that as it is, just attend. Just the root form of the verb, okay? That's for all regular RE verbs. You don't add anything on the il, elle, on form, okay? Then for nous attend, because we've got a consonant at the end and a vowel at the beginning, we join them with a Z sound, so nous attend. So we add ONS, okay? Nous attendons, so we wait. And then here we've got vous attend, again, ends with a consonant, begins with a vowel, so we connect them with a Z sound, so little Z sound here. Vous attend, vous attendez, comme ça, okay? And lastly, we've got il, elle, so they wait, il, elle, attendons, okay? So they're a little bit similar to the ER endings. Okay, so now I've conjugated the RE verbs. Let's have a look at some examples. So, elles vendent les fruits. So, vendre means to sell, okay? Put that here, to sell. So, elles vendent les fruits. And remember, because the il, elle, on forms do not add anything onto the root of the verb. So, it just vend. So, we don't add anything here. So, it's nothing. We don't add anything. we just have the root. And the root of vendre, if we get rid of the ending, it's going to be just vendre. Okay, and then here we've already seen this, attendez. So we just add EZ onto the root of the verb. So that means, where are you waiting? Vous attendez où? Okay, où just means where. Où. And then number 3, we've got ils entendent bien. So, entendre, dérimé. Entendre just means to hear. So they hear well, and you just take off the RE, and you add the ENT here onto the root of the verb. So they hear well, that means bien, just means well in this case. And then finally you've got tu perds le jeu. So this is perdre, which means to lose. That's the verb, the RE verb, and we take off the RE, no RE, and we add on the S, that's the ending. Tu perds le jeu, you lose the game. Le jeu is the game, okay? There's some examples. Now, test yourself. So don't worry if you don't know a couple of the words, just try and focus on the verbs. That's what we're looking at today. So I spend time, so we've got the verbs passer, we've got ER verbs, réussir, we've got IR verbs and RE verbs. And just on this one, rester, this is a false friend. So rester does not mean to rest, it means to stay. A lot of students get confused with that. To rest is se détendre or se reposer. They're reflexive verbs. Rester is to stay. Okay, don't get that confused. So, if you want to pause the video here, just do these 5 questions just to test yourself on the ER, IR and RE verb endings. Check you've got them right for all the right pronouns. Just make sure you know which pronoun you're looking at. Look at those, check which ones, and then here are the answers. So, the last one we've already looked at. It's very similar to finir, choisir. This one you might have a little bit, but this is the answer. So choisir is very similar to the verb finir, both regular IR verbs. They are conjugated very similarly. Just another thing I'd like to add here, passer, when it's associated with du temps, means to spend time. It doesn't mean to pass, it means to spend time when it's associated with time. It doesn't always mean that, but in this scenario it does. Okay? Thank you very much for watching. If you need any more help with irregular verbs, I've linked my email below in the description. Feel free to email me. If you need any help with irregular verbs, I've also linked my video below in which I explain how to conjugate irregular verbs most commonly used in French. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.